and welcome to Flavours of Ulster.
We'll not only be showing you the origins of our fabulous produce here in Northern Ireland, we'll be giving you a few recipes as well. We're also delighted to come into the kitchen where we're joined by Chef Callum Irwin
as we find diverse and delicious flavours of Ulster.
and welcome to Flavours of Ulster. Today we're in County Antrim, travelling from Ballymena to Ballyclare, finding out the secret behind creating the perfect sourdough loaf. And here in Ballyclare, Fisherwick Farms, they offer a little bit more than just your average pint of milk. So join us as we discover the secrets behind the artisan products created here right in the heart of Northern Ireland. Ricky, we are in your gorgeous, it's fabulous, the smells are beautiful, Zach's Bakehouse. This has come about after a long, hard graft of a good number of years.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the background of it was I cooked most of my life, and well, Zach came along and things needed to change. So we sort of had been working on some bread, sourdough bread before that. And yeah, that's pretty much where it was born. You
did your graft, as they say, though. It's not an easy industry to be in a kitchen, head chef, opening restaurants. It's demanding. It can be brutal.
Yeah, it's a hard life, for sure, but an enjoyable one. And it's like everything else, if you work hard at it to whatever level you want to be, yeah, it's rewarding too, but it's not for a family, and it wasn't for me. So time had to change.
So Zach arrived. I mean, why bread making? I mean, many people might think going down different wee avenues, but what was it for you that was made bread making so attractive?
Well, I mean, because of my background, there was very little proper, well, there was no sourdough available, and the bread offering that chefs and cooks could buy was slim. So that's probably what, I mean, we made bread every day in work, and to be fair, it probably was as good as we knew at the time, but it wasn't great looking back. And yeah, so that was where the interest from that came. And then, to cut a long story short, I bought a book to read in the plane, and that sort of got me into sourdough and just started that journey.
What exactly is sourdough? Well,
sourdough is a process rather than a loaf. So you could make a sourdough pancake if you wanted to. So it's a process of naturally leavening the bread just with flour and water, which is referred to usually as a starter. And it's the fermentation of that which then enables the bread to rise and hold its shape and structure. So it's 100. If it's done properly, it's 100% natural, and it's nothing new. They've been doing it for, I don't know, probably thousands of years before us. So it's a process rather than one single loaf.
I also noticed focaccia bread, a few other wee bits.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your favourite bread to create?
I think it changed from time to time. Just based solely on whatever mood it happened to be in. The Breagan Hill White's hard to beat.
We connection there maybe too.
Well, maybe, but yeah, anything. I genuinely like a sourdough as opposed to a yeasted bread, but that's only personal preference. It's some of the kids or my kids like a yeasted bread compared to sourdough, but I mean I'll not fall out with them for that.
Now you talk about the kids there. I mean, do they come in and give you a wee hand, or what is the process like actually here? Has it changed much from when you started baking the bread?
No, it's just got a whole lot bigger. But the process is exactly the same. The time scales are the same. It's all.
And what is the time scale to create?
Well, from loaf? One of our sort of that Breagan Hill I was telling you about, probably about 32 hours.
32 hours compared to what would a normal loaf?
Well, most bread is produced. Something like 80% of the UK's bread is produced using a Chorleywood process, and from flour to being sliced in the bags 3 hours. You know, so it doesn't take a genius to work out. It's not that good for you know, the consumer. The flour that they use is mediocre at best, and so the whole product itself isn't great. So yeah, probably about 32 hours for our sort of basic loaf. And even you mentioned focaccia there, it wouldn't be as long as that, but it still requires good fermentation time of probably about 15 hours. So
all those years in the kitchen then kind of prepped you for the long hours, but you have been able to adjust it and work around family life a wee bit more then.
Yeah, it's really important to me. I you know, have at the start, like most businesses, you have to work, you know, 7 days a week, pretty much all day, to try and get your footing in, to get things working properly and efficiently. Thankfully, I'm at a stage now where it's much more efficient. You know, at the start it was just me, whereas now it's not, and so I enjoy so much family time. It's pretty cool that way.
Michael, what a fabulous place you have here. Fisherwick Dairy Farm?
Yep.
How many cows do you milk?
Looking about 120, so keep it kind of small and contained and look after them that way.
Small and contained is good.
Yeah.
When you're managing it, I'm sure as well. And I
Yeah.
mean, are these cows that you've brought in, or are you breeding your own?
In the past, we've ran as what's called a flying herd, so we've been buying cows in. Within the last 3 years, we're in the process of swapping over that we're bringing all our own stock through again. So by 2 years' time, we should be rearing all our own stock and bringing everything through from the farm.
That has many advantages as well,
Yeah,
having
definitely.
you know, their own bloodline there.
Yeah, no, definitely. It makes it quite exciting as well whenever you're kind of getting to see something from the day it's born and bringing it right up through and seeing how it progresses on. It kind of just adds another aspect to the farm, the enjoyment of it.
Yeah, and that wee connection's there for you.
Yeah.
When we are talking about the plight of farmers at the minute, I mean, it is a difficult time, and it is highlighted quite a bit about the industry itself, the dairy industry. And I suppose what people are talking about, you know, the price that a farmer will get paid per litre compared to what a customer will pay on the shelf.
Yeah.
There's quite disparity there. You know, it's quite a tough time.
No, it can vary a lot. You kind of suffer from the fact you're selling a global commodity on a local scale, you know, so you're supplying into local market, but everything's sold globally. So something in New Zealand or America can affect the price here, whether it be droughts, floods, whatever. So price does vary a good bit over the year, but it's kind of part of the farming that you have to take the good with the bad, and you kind of average it all out and hope that it's the right side of things at the end of the year.
And what many farmers are doing, I suppose, is trying to take something into their own control and add a little bit more value to the farm. So, I mean, this is exactly really what you've been doing here.
Yeah, no, we started this about be a year next month. Took kind of a couple of years to get us up and going and get to this stage, but we're kind of in the position, we're right in the middle of the village on one side with farms on the other side. You've no aspect to kind of go bigger to try and spread your costs that way. So doing something like this kind of was another option for us to try and just diversify things and try and get another income coming into the farm.
Now, we've been standing here not all that long, and I think we've arrived at the right time, because as soon as the school closed, we've got people coming with the milkshake bottles. I mean, milkshake's proving very popular among a lot of the young people too.
No, definitely. There's a lot of people who come, and it's a great way to be able to get the kids transitioning onto it, and they're like, we've been able to take them off. Normally they'd want something in the shop or a fizzy drink or something like that. They can bring them here for a milkshake after, and parents are far happier that they're drinking that and getting the goodness out of the milk rather than something they don't want them to be drinking in the first place.
I'm liking the sound of that. Now, talking briefly just about, I suppose, the process. This just doesn't happen overnight.
No.
I mean, from a thought in your head to what we see here today, that's quite a long, lengthy process.
Yeah, just short of 2 years. The time we kind of thought about it, what we wanted to do, where we wanted to do it, applying for planning, doing that side of things, getting it through, getting it built, getting and sourcing all the equipment, getting all the pasteurization checks done, everything like that.
The list is just, it's
you
just
keep
endless.
working down it, just ignore, just
and then
keep working
cross it
down.
out and add some more, and then cross it
you
out.
cross one out and add 2 or 3 on at the end.
Exactly. Now we'll talk a wee bit more about what you're offering as well shortly. But I suppose the thing about when you're selling your own milk, I mean, quality is always important, but you
Yeah.
really are going for quality over quantity here.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like we've started working with a nutritionist maybe a year and a half, 2
A
years ago now.
nutritionist
Yeah, for the cows.
for the cows. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just keep on top of them, make sure they're kind of doing the best they can be, because that'll all filter through in the milk quality in terms of butter, fats, proteins, the quality of the milk. No, yes, it's definitely an important part of it.
One thing I noticed that you really have, you know, hit right on the head, your Instagram, your social media. I mean, it really is incredible, and it's beautiful to look at, and it's informative, and it's reaching out. I checked, and I have lots of people in my area follow you. So a lot of people, you're reaching people that perhaps you wouldn't have reached before. How important is that social media aspect to what you do?
Instagram's really important. For us, it was a saviour in lockdown. I can't tell you enough of how it's the reason we're still here. Whenever I started producing low fat was before Instagram was even a thing, which is frightening.
Not to make you feel old.
Yeah. But no, I use it. I'm probably not as active on it as I should be. I just generally take pictures of what I think looks like a good picture. And I don't know, you're being very polite saying it's lovely, but it's it's just pictures of what I think people might want to see.
What I love, there seems to be a real kind of insurgence with local people, perhaps tapping in to the fact that we have amazing local producers here in Northern Ireland. I mean, do you think it has been a long time coming for us to really appreciate what we have on our doorstep?
Yeah, well, I think as a cook, we always knew that. But you were a cook, that was your business to know that. You know, I think now it's more evident, probably again through Instagram or social media of sorts. It's more available to sort of everybody else, but that's maybe only over the last sort of 5 or 8 years. Maybe that there always was producers, but there's so many more now of really good standard. So yeah, it's just more evident now.
You can have your little local chutneys and dips and bits and pieces with your bread. So it's
Yeah,
like kind of
yeah.
do you get together with many?
As long as the
local-
bread's there.
Do you get together with many local producers? I mean, is that something that you try and do?
You know
or?
what? We do meet some from time to time. I'm a bit of a hermit too, so I sort of like my own company
All
too.
that
you
bread
know?
making.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about the hands that you have and how many loaves that perhaps have been made by them, but they're tired hands at times.
Yeah. Pretty
I mean,
much.
does this kind of have a lifespan for you? Or I mean, what do you see the future?
I don't think about the future too much. I mean, my hands, thankfully, are still good enough yet, and we'll keep doing what we do. Everything here is done by hand. There's an argument that you could bring in a few machines and do stuff, but then you start to lose what you started off with, which doesn't sit well with me. So I'm quite happy to stick the way it is. I don't know what the future holds at all. From a bread point of view, I'm sure it's bright. So we'll just take it as it comes.
Do you think, as an artisan producer, that helps you keep that passion?
I think, yeah, it probably does. Over the years, I have seen different people and different companies changing. They've become much bigger, and as what I said earlier, then they start to lose. And it's unfortunate because it maybe started out as a family company and then, for whatever reason, took a different route, and they lose the sort of personality and what probably made them good in the beginning. And I would rather not. I would rather just do what we do. You know, I don't need to make a million. I just need to make a few decent loaves of bread.
Well, it works. And I mean, with your son's name on the loaf, you have to kind of keep that up.
we just have to keep going.
And finally, Ricky, if I am to try a little bit of sourdough, how would you, I mean, what is the best way to try your bread? How is it?
Just for some decent butter.
A wee bit of butter, just bread and butter.
Yeah, very much. That's it.
Great. Well, Ricky, thank you so much
You're welcome.
for taking the time out in your fabulous bakery.
You're
Really
very
enjoyed
welcome.
it.
Anytime.
Thank you. Gadgets, you've computers, you've vending machines, you've a wee bit of everything going on. I mean, you've obviously mixed that whole kind of your experience in other aspects and other areas
Yeah.
with problem solving. And I suppose
Yeah.
with farming, a lot of farming, it's all about problem solving.
It takes up the most of your day, yeah. It's kind of just seems to be one problem after another at times. Yeah, so definitely you have to think on your feet at times.
Now, talking about thinking on your feet, I mean, you've obviously thought a lot about this here. This is taking up probably a lot of your time, a lot of investment as well. But you've opened it up a little bit. I mean, you're an artisan producer, what you're doing here, and you've opened it up to other producers as well.
Yeah. Well, for us, like bringing the milk in, you having it on the farm, bringing people onto the farm. This has spawned from speaking to people that are buying our milk. Is there any chance you're going to do this? Are you going to do this in the future? And the more people you chat to, you get a feel for what people are looking for. And it is just locally sourced produce that they know where it's from, what's in it, and it's just all locally grown.
Do you see a shift then in the consumer since maybe you started thinking about the idea and what people want now?
Yeah, no, for us it's been great because normally a milk tanker goes out the end of the lane and that's the last you hear of it. So to see somebody coming in for the first time and you're maybe helping them use the vending machine and then they're back 2 days later going, it was amazing, I loved it. They can't believe the difference and you kids are happy with it. It's more rewarding, it's really rewarding to see.
You've got ice cream, you've got local producers, you've got what people want in the shop, but also you've introduced a few more animals as well to the farm.
No, definitely. Like the Zonkies there, they've been here maybe 7-10 years now. We've had them between my mum and my aunt. They're quite happy just pottering about there. And the Highland cows I bought from my wife as a wedding present, so they've been here 3 years.
Right, we have to talk about this. You bought your wife
the
Highland cows.
Yeah.
That's lovely. I love that.
Yeah.
And I
something
mean,
different.
is it something that they're there just to look at and think, oh, they're so cute?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's glorified pets, really.
So you've got you've got dogs, you've got Highland cattle, but your hens as well. And
Yeah.
I mean, you utilise every little thing that's produced on this farm.
Yeah. We used to have commercial hens, then we stopped them. The hen house was sitting empty. People were asking you, are you going to do eggs? Are you going to do anything local? Do you know where you can get them? So we started off with maybe 50 hens, and I think there's about 85 now. So it's only enough for maybe 10 boxes of eggs a day, but it's all we need to meet the demand in here. And it's creating that link for kids that may have been lost in the past, where you've known where your food comes from and what's involved in getting it to your house.
Now, talking about the actual buildings, we cannot leave today without talking about the history.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gorgeous historic site as well as a working farm.
Yeah.
Tell us a wee bit about the history then.
So the farm was originally a hunting lodge. It was owned by the Marquess of Donegal, so this would have been full of horses and a hunting estate. And then it kind of over the years, it slowed, once they he lost all the gambling debt. So after that, and then it was turned into a farm. And we've been here since 1946.
Oh, wow. Very good. So you can trace your history then. You know, it's relatively new.
Yeah.
But you still have that reconnection to the land as well.
No, definitely.
Michael, thank you so much for taking the time out.
You're very welcome.
I am actually going to have to try some milkshake.
Yeah,
then.
no, definitely. We can organise that.
See if it lives up to.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming.
Okay. So Michael, here we go. It's all set up perfectly. I'm loving the bottles. This is the exciting part.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem too complicated to use.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Can you show us then?
Yeah, absolutely. So you just take your bottle, set it inside the door, line it up and below the spout, and pick your flavour. What do you want?
Okay, pick my flavour. Let me see. I think I might just go for strawberry or raspberry.
And tap large.
And the large. And press here to fill.
And away you go.
To actually see it as opposed to a pack on a shelf in a shop.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michael. I am looking forward to trying this.
Enjoy. And you can let us know what you think.
Well, for Flavours of Ulster, we have travelled to all arts and parts of Northern Ireland. Callum, this is the exciting part, I have to say, where we get to try out and see what recipes you come up with.
Yes, thanks for having me, firstly. Yeah, really looking forward to this. We have our first dish today is Kilkeel crab. As you just said there, it's one of Ulster's best producers, and I'm really looking forward to utilising this in this little dish I have for you. The crabs came in and we took out the white meat, picked it down, made sure there was no shells, and today we're going to do a beautiful crab on toast dish.
Delicious. So crab and toast, and I'm just eyeing up this gorgeous bread, the sourdough. Zach, down the road, not too far away.
Yes, just up in Kells, a previous chef, a very, very good chef too. He's got a few products, but this is his rye sourdough, which is a beautiful product. As I said, we're just going to do crab on toast with the Kilkeel crab and the Sachs Bakehouse bread here. I think a lot of chefs will always say, the simpler you keep it and the more you let the local products do the job, the better the outcome will be.
Well, do you know, I'm going to let you do your job.
Thank you.
And you know, I don't mind helping a little bit as well.
Of course,
not
we
the
can maybe
best
learn a
cook,
thing or two,
but
which is great. Yeah, so as I said, crab on toast, it's a very, very classical dish. You'll see it across restaurants all across Europe, but we're going to do our little Ulster twist on it. So I'm just going to slice the sourdough and then I'm going to pass you a little job. Eve, you're going to be my sourdough toaster. So we have a little pan on. I'm going to just make sure we're on here, okay? We are indeed. I think we'll go for 2 because we're hungry.
Are you a fan of sourdough yourself, Colin?
Oh, it's beautiful.
And why do you like using it in the kitchen as opposed to the other breads?
Sourdough, obviously the smell comes from the culture that you use in it, but sourdough is an art that Sachs actually perfected. So a culture is actually an alive enzyme, so it's always bubbling. It's always something you gotta top up, so you always have to add flour and water and make sure it's not going to die on you. So people call the culture like a little baby, but I'm sure he's had his going for many, many years now, and it's a real art, and you can see the aeration and the quality of the bread there, and Sachs definitely one of the best in the country. So hopefully I can do this product a bit of justice.
Now, you tell me what to do.
We're just going to leave it in there, make sure it's
Yeah,
nice
give it a
and
wee
brown.
wiggle.
We're not too high a heat, so it shouldn't burn, hopefully not. I'm going to go across and cut my little apples and my cucumber for the crab. And this is going to be the cold part of the dish on a wee bit of hot toast. I've got a wee gadget here just to make sure.
You see, that looks, yeah, you need to know what you're doing here, okay? So
You do. You need to watch your fingers, which is the main thing. So you'll see I'm using the palm of my hand, keeping the fingers out of the way. We don't want any accidents today, do we? So as I say, I'm just cutting up the cucumber here. This will give the dish a little bit of freshness to the crab. And then we'll go on to our Armagh apples. And now on to our Armagh apples. I've actually used these across a few of the dishes today. Really, really good product, right in season at the minute.
we were in Armagh, and I have to say, you can't go too far in Armagh without seeing an apple tree. There's something about Armagh and apples and cider. It's kind of synonymous with it. And do you notice a difference then, a real difference when you're working with the local products?
Yeah, well, the closer they're sourced, the better they will be. If they've got less travel miles, then the fresher it's going to be and the better product it will be. Big believer in simple dishes and using seasonal products. And as I said earlier on, we're blessed to have such a fantastic larder here in Ulster.
We are, indeed.
We are.
What is your favourite way then to eat crab? Because what I loved asking a lot of the producers, you know, what way they would cook or what way they would prepare their products. And I think when we went to Kilkeel, it was just very much kind of a little bit of dressed crab on toast.
I don't think you can beat it. It's a classic and it's worked for years. Crab for me shouldn't really be heated. It's lovely with a bit of apple or in the salad. How's your toast getting
Yeah, I
on there?
think it's going okay. You might need to check.
Are we nearly flip time?
All okay?
Oh, I think we are. Look
Yeah.
at that there.
All good.
Beautiful. Just going to add a little bit of chive. Our crab, as I said, we picked this down earlier this morning just to ensure there was no shells in it. That's the last thing you want in a crab dish, to break someone's teeth. I think I would lose my job in a restaurant if that was the case.
The dentists would love that.
Keep them in business anyway, you're right. We've got some creme fraiche, again from a local dairy farmer.
And the creme fraiche, it's quite a new thing for Ulster. I mean, back in the day, I mean, Ulster Scots, we didn't exactly bring creme fraiche over with us, did we? Or is it?
No, I doubt it, but
It's more the buttermilk and things like that.
I would say they would
Is
have
that
the
how
likes
it's
of
evolved.
Yeah, cottage cheeses and different. They would have used the waste product of maybe if they're doing milk or butter. But it's just another way to utilise dairy. So I'm sure they had their ways in the past to do that. So as I say, I've just mixed this in together. You can see the apples, the cucumber, the chive. Gonna pop it all in there together.
I think we're all good here.
I think
what do
the
you
toast.
think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Don't we lift it off? Save your hands. Are you okay?
I'm all good. I'm good. Do you want me to pop it on
the tray,
here?
and then we'll run it through the oven quickly.
I think so. I think I can do that.
I've just added my crab here to the diced cucumber, apple. I'm going to give it a little squeeze of lemon.
So are we finished with?
I think our crab.
So it's just as simple as that.
Really, really simple. Yeah, anyone can do this at home.
So just remind us, we've got cucumber, we've got apple.
Yeah, we've got our
Creme
cucumber
fraiche.
diced, we've got our apple from Armagh, we've got our Kilkeel crab, creme fraiche just to bind it together, a little bit of lemon juice, chive, salt, pepper. No need for complications. On a lovely bit of local Saks Bakehouse bread. We're just running that through the oven now to make sure it's at a tepid temperature and we're good to serve. Really, really nice, beautiful starter for people to do for a wee dinner party or something at home.
I like that. You could even chop it up and have it and serve it.
Well, you could do it as a canapé, yeah.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
could slice it into little soldiers and pop it on.
Perfect. So how long will we?
I think another
this in
minute
the
and then
oven?
we're good to go.
And why do you put it in the oven after this?
Just to heat it through.
Right. Okay.
It'll just make the bread hot and it's not stodgy in the middle. It's the fine details, Eve.
Fine details. I'm making a mental note. I will take a mental note. So
Well, I have the cloth, so maybe I'll get it.
I'll let you do
and then I
this.
think we're
Actually.
good to serve. If you want to pick a plate.
Perfect.
Happy?
We'll pick a plate.
Make sure I'm not burning these beautiful counters. Take it over here. Will we serve here, Eve?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe two, because
Two.
I think we're both hungry.
I think so. All right. And you see, it's all to do with the presentation as well. You see, if I was doing it, I probably wouldn't be just quite as refined
Well,
as yourself.
This is a wee bit of a difficult dish to make look beautiful, but hopefully the proof is in the flavour.
It smells so fresh, even.
Yeah, this very clean in the palate. This fresh apples, cucumbers, crab. They're flavour profiles that have gone together for years. So I'm not going to try and overcomplicate things. And just again, using the local produce here in Ulster, and it's just a great wee dish. This.
Delicious.
I'm going to just finish it with a little bit of fresh chive for a pop of colour on the white plate. And just like you'd see in a restaurant.
Just like that.
Beautiful. Enjoy.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And Eve, just before you tuck in here, we've got another lovely local product. We've got the Broider Gold oil,
Fabulous. Do you know,
and that'll just finish that off. Lovely.
we were in Limavady and had a wee look with the Kane family, and it was just, it's incredible for dipping. For the quality of it is so good.
It's amazing. It definitely gives the Italians a run for their money, which is commendable. And then they've got beautiful carrots up there as well, which we're going to use later on.
Yeah, the carrots were amazing. What does this do to this dish then?
It'll just give it another wee element of flavour, a nice finish in the tongue, and it should just bring everything together.
Well, I cannot wait to try it.
Me
I've
too.
waited from Kilkeel Harbour to try a little bit of this. That is so delicious.
It's good.
I can taste every single element. There's not something in this that will overpower the dish.
No, it's very well balanced. You get the apple, you get the cucumber, the wee bit of chive, gives it a wee bit of onion, freshness of the crab, creme fraiche, oil finishes it beautifully. Yeah, that's lovely.
I have to say, I'm liking the tip with the bread.
It's good.
Yes, I'm
And
going to have
you
to
know
try
what I mean
that.
about the stodginess,
I do.
but it's all down to the products.
No, the Kilkeel crab, definitely. It's just
Brings it all together. It's lovely.
gorgeous, really beautiful and really fresh.